Welcome to my channel, everyone. We're going to talk about ways to improve your trading in the new year, and we're also going to go over some very good tips on how to become a better day trader. These are all going to be important things which have completely improved my trading over the past couple of years. So I want you all to absorb all this information and try it out for yourself. You're going to really see a difference in your trading, and it's going to help you propel one step closer to becoming consistent. But before we do begin and get into the points, if you want a very good trading resource and a place to watch daily trading recaps, I'm going to post a link to my Instagram in the description below. You're definitely missing out if you aren't following this page. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. You first have to understand who you are as a trader. You have to learn yourself, and you have to understand your personality. Now, everybody is going to have a different personality, so what works out for you might not work out for me. Some people can't sit in front of a screen all day long. They get too anxious. They make bad decisions. So maybe they're going to be good as a, swing trader. Whereas someone that is trying swing trading but has to be active, they have to sit in front of a screen, they have very good focus, and they have to be doing something all the time, might be better as an active intraday trader. So you have to identify your personality first, and then you have to identify your strengths and weaknesses. What are you bad at? Are you bad at, do you feel adrenaline when you're trading? That could be a weakness. Adrenaline, angst, anxiety, those are all weaknesses in your trading because those could have negative effects to your future and current decisions. What are your strengths? What are you good at? What are your best trades have all in common? Are you good at maintaining focus and awareness of what the market's telling you? You have to identify all these things, learn yourself, and then these are all going to act as, stepping stones, little pieces of bricks to build up a foundation for the home. So you also have to understand your emotions. What goes on through your head when you're trading? Is it good? Is it bad? Do you have negative thoughts? These all are very important things, which are going to lead up to the second point, because you have to be very disciplined when you're trading. Now, I put this on my Instagram story earlier, which basically states that this year you have to focus on being disciplined rather than motivated. All motivation is fake. If you need motivation to do something, you don't actually want to do it. Motivation creates willpower. Willpower isn't long term, it's very dangerous, and it leads to failure. If you want true success, you have to change your inner self by being disciplined. Discipline and patience are the most important emotional and psychological terms that we have to use in trading. So if we're more disciplined, we have to remove the motivation. People see motivational quotes, they see other people posting about cars, watches with trading, and they want to use it as fuel, which is good. But if you need motivation for something, then you don't actually want to do it, because if you wanted it, you don't need the motivation. You'd be out there doing it already. So don't give yourself false motivation. It'll actually hurt you in the long run. If you need to use willpower for something, it's not going to last long term. And you have to be disciplined enough to understand that trading is about being patient and sitting on your hands. You could sit in front of the screens for 6.5 hours a day and not put one trade on. Last week, I think I put like 3 or 4 trades on in total. I am very, very patient, and that's one of the attributes that makes me, a very good trader, because I could sit on my hands if nothing's not, going on. If there's no opportunity, I'm not going to trade. People sit in front of a screen, they see quotes flashing, they see numbers ticking, and they think they have to get on a piece of that action. Just because the market's, moving doesn't mean you have to be a part of it. Be patient and sit on your hands. And discipline also brings us into doing what you don't want to do. So the things we do, we want to do, but the things that we don't want to do, we don't do. And that's why we look for motivation to get us to do those things. So being disciplined is something that we have to relate to in everyday life activities. No one wants to wake up at 4 a.m., but if we set in our minds that we're, the night before, that we're going to wake up at 4 a.m., we're going to work out, we're going to read that book, we're going to get ready for the market, we have to be disciplined enough to put that into action and actually do it. We might not want to do it, but when we do it, we're going to feel so good. So those everyday life activities, those are going to naturally and subconsciously bleed into our trading. Are we disciplined enough to sit on our hands, or are we disciplined enough to wake up, early? Are we disciplined enough to read that extra book, run that extra mile, study for an extra hour, whatever the case may be? Point number 3 is you have to understand the market mechanics. This is very, very key. If you want to improve your trading, you have to understand what the market is doing and what the market is telling us. What drives price? The only thing that could drive price is buyer and seller interest. When there are more aggressive buying than passive selling, the market is going to go up. When there is more aggressive selling and less passive buying, the market is going to go down. When both participants are in equilibrium, the market is going to be balanced. So understand that. And then you have to not use any lagging indicators. So leading over lagging. What this means is that leading indicators, which happen as price is trading, lagging indicators are after price has closed. So if you look at a moving average or any type of oscillator, RSI, MACD, I'm not going to say those are bad. I do not use them myself, but those all will give you information after the market has ticked. So anything that comes in after price has ticked and actually traded and closed is going to skew your risk to reward. And we know what happens when we have skewed risk to rewards. It does not lead to any type of longevity, and it'll give us higher odds for blowing up accounts. We now also have to understand the auction process and understand market context. The market is not the same every day. Understand the story that the market is telling you. I say this all the time in all my videos, but the market is the storyteller and we have to comprehend what it's telling us. If it's telling us buyers are in control, then maybe not, don't short the market. If it's telling us bears are in control, sellers are hitting the market, then maybe we have to look to the short side and not play the long side or go in with smaller size. Are buyers getting rewarded? Are buyers getting frustrated? Are sellers going to get rewarded once we come below a certain level? Where are other people's stop losses? These are all things you have to attribute to the market and the internal thought process that keeps clicking in your head. You also have to stick to one strategy. This is something I see a lot of traders do. They do not have success. They take one losing trade or two losing trades with one system, and then they try to find another system that's going to work. All I could say is that no strategy is going to work 100% of the time. You have to have losing trades, but you have to be able to manage those losing trades properly. So if something's not working for you, review it, put it in a journal, use that strategy for at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month's time, get enough data to quantify it, and then qualify it if it's going to be a sustainable strategy for you. So do not hop from strategy to strategy. I could tell you any strategy works. There's thousands of traders that make up the market volume every single day. There's millions of participants, and they all have different strategies. They have all different triggers, confirmations, and it works for them. So find something that works for you, stick to it, and then build upon it. We could do this by journaling. What works for you, what doesn't work. Write it down. Write down how you felt. What are the negative denominators? What have you saw that all had common denominators in your trade, and did they work out for you or did they not work out for you? Remove everything that doesn't work out and then add upon what does work out for you. Trading is so scalable. If you can make money with, one contract, nothing's stopping you from just increasing your size, going with 10 contracts, doing the same exact trade, but you're going to make, X more dollars. So don't focus on, you have to focus on your journal, focus on what doesn't work for you. What does work, you have to have at least months data of this to qualify it. And then you have to review that and then reflect upon it. You could put everything in a journal or everything you want. But if you do not review it on weekends and when the market's closed or when it's quiet and reflect on it, it's not going to work out. You have to put action into it to see any type of progress. So you don't even have to journal your trades. Journal some setups that maybe you missed today, or journal some setups of the market overall. What caused this thing to run? What caused this thing to sell off? And then review it. And then maybe you could see some common denominators between, all day runners or all day faders. And then when you see that in real live action, you're going to be like, hey, a red flag just hit off in my head. Maybe this thing has a good high chance of it running all day. Another thing is less screen time is more. People think the more times you sit the longer the time you sit in front of the screen, the better. But after a certain time, there's going to be a point where you're less productive, you're going to be more unproductive, and you're just going to be working inefficiently because of something which is called mental capital. So it's everything what you see as yourself, it's everything that's going on in your head. Are you feeling brain fog? Are you feeling like you have a headache, mentally drained? Once you feel that and get that point, close it down. Walk away, go work out, go read a book, do something different. The more time behind the screens is not productive as people think it is. And the last one is a very important one as well. I've sat with many traders. I have friends and family who work on Wall Street, and they all trade together. They're in a community, whether they're in a group chat together, whether they're working in the same prop firm or office. They all trade together. They bounce ideas off of each other. They use each other as fuel for future trading decisions. They all want to communicate, engage, and get everybody together. So whether it be my trading community or another one, I definitely recommend you finding your own community, your own chat room, and joining just something with like-minded traders. They'll definitely help you in the process. You can learn from other people's mistakes. People that have had skin in the game, took losses. You have to learn from them. So I would recommend, you can't do this by yourself. So that's going to wrap it up. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope I made some good points, something that you could relate to, something that you want to use for this year in 2021 to improve on, maybe some good resolutions. So let's get ready to kick this year off. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope everybody had a happy new year, and I'll see you all at the next video. Peace.